Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I am known all over the world for my teachings on self-government or self-control. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to master the art of self-control. In this video, I'm going to share with you what my journey was like to self-control, and then I want to share with you 4 things that you can do to master the art of self-control. It truly is an art. I'm a pretty passionate person. In fact, I'm the type of person that is spontaneous. I, in the past, have been very emotional, and I had to rein all of that in to really become the version of me that I wanted to. I had some great opportunities when I was about 14 years old to meet key people and have key conversations in my life that changed the way that I see me. In fact, the way you see yourself is one of the key things that you have to get a handle on in order to truly have self-control. So I had a conversation with a vice principal at my junior high school who told me that he chose to be happy even if the day was not happy. And I went, what? How can you do that? I talked to him about it. He gave me some wise counsel that sounded like, Nicholeen, why would I choose to be any other way? And I went, yeah, why would someone choose to be any other way? It doesn't make sense. But then how to do it? That was a whole other thing, right? I can pick happiness again and again, but then what about those moments when things just don't go my way? It bugs me. My parents do something I don't like. What do I do then? I thought at age 14. Well, then a neighbor changed me 2 other times with questions and statements that corrected me, that helped me transform myself. I'll forever be grateful for a question that my neighbor across the street asked me when I was 14 years old. She said, Nicholeen, have you ever thought of just saying okay? See, at the time, I wasn't getting along with my parents. In fact, we were constantly fighting, and it was wearing me out. And she asked this question, which made me think, can I just choose to say okay and be okay, even when my first inclination is to not be okay? That seemed like a powerful thing to do, but also I wasn't sure if it was going to be effective, so I put it to the test. I started saying okay and being okay every time my parents told me to do something or not to do something, and my life transformed. I had more freedom from my parents because I had a better connection with my parents. Our relationship blossomed. We ended up becoming friends in the end instead of foes all of the time. I will be grateful my whole life that I learned how to say okay and be okay, that I taught myself to do it minute by minute. So self-control is not something that happens instantly. It's something that we teach ourselves incrementally. We self-control one bit, then we'd practice it again and again and again. If we recognize that that's the process, then we can have more patience with our inadequacies at self-control until we truly learn to master ourselves. Here are 4 principles for the art of self-control. Principle number 1 is plan for it. So an artist who paints a painting or sculpts a sculpture, they make a plan first. They don't often just go for it unless they're just going to see whatever happens, happens. If there's a certain thing that they want to paint, a certain feeling that they want to convey, they think about it. They plan for it. They set things up just so. They make sure the lighting is just right so that they can convey what it is they feel like they need to convey. You've got to make a plan. So the same is true for self-control. If you are going to govern yourself or master yourself, you've got to make a plan for it. If you don't make a plan, then it will always be whatever happened, happened. And you'll run your whole life cleaning up one mess after another and wondering why your piece of art hasn't quite turned out yet. Number 2, you need to know skills. Would an artist ever just jump into painting or sculpture without knowing what tools to use and how to use those tools? You need skills. Those are your tools that you're going to be able to hold on to have self-control in the minute. We often think about teaching our children how to behave, but do we really focus on ourselves? There was a full-day web conference I did a little while back called Dare to Take Command. And it was all about the skills that a person needs to govern themselves, to lead themselves, correct themselves, change themselves, to become the best version of themselves. If you go to teachingselfgovernment.com and you click the store, then you'll be able to see that Dare to Take Command event. It is available there, and you can learn some more about some of these skills that I'm going to be discussing here. Some of the skills that you need for self-mastery are: you need to know how to accept a no answer. Things in your life are not going to always happen just as you'd like them to. What are you going to do? Are you going to take it personal every time? Are you going to get emotional every time? Or can you choose calmness? Can you be okay in the minute, even if something doesn't happen exactly like you'd like it to? Another skill that you need is following instructions. Do you know that you will need to give yourself instructions over time in order to fully conquer yourself? So what does it mean to follow an instruction? Another skill you need is how to accept consequences. And then finally, also a skill called disagreeing appropriately. When a person learns those 4 basic skills and they apply them in their lives, that takes care of 99% of their emotional and behavioral problem. In fact, it puts you in the driver's seat. The driver's seat is the prefrontal cortex of your brain. When you're going to control yourself, what you're really talking about is moving from midbrain or back brain to front brain. You're talking about choosing not to let your emotions lead the day, but instead to love and care with emotion, but let your front brain do the work of controlling you. That front brain, mixed with a desire in your heart and mind to be in control of yourself, is powerful. In fact, it's that will that is the most powerful component to who you are. The way that you move your brain and knowing how you move, in fact, deliberately planning on moving from one part of the brain to another, telling yourself, wait a minute, I might be in the emotional part of my brain right now because I'm feeling like I'm offended, and saying, nope, I'm going logical and I'm going to start planning this out. That's the third part that I wanted to teach you today about the art of self-control. Number 4, don't be afraid to parent yourself. Whether you have children or not, you need someone to keep you in line. The best someone is you. You need to be accountable to yourself. If you're going to give yourself instructions and give yourself no answers, then you need to correct yourself and praise yourself too. That means that you are parenting yourself. One of the best ways that adults find to keep track of their progress and parent themselves is to keep a log or a journal. On this day, I gave myself this instruction, I followed through. Maybe that instruction was to exercise. You know those people that don't keep their New Year's resolutions? Well, the reason why they don't is because they don't give themselves enough instructions. And when something else gets in the way, they don't give themselves a no answer. We have to keep ourselves moving forward by constantly parenting ourselves. When we are in those moments of our best productivity, those are moments when we're instructing ourselves and giving ourselves no answers. So be your own parent. Correct yourself too. How does a good parent correct their children? Well, they are calm and they focus their child back on the skill development, the skill that they're missing that they need to work on. If you want to learn more about these skills and if you want to master your calmness more, then you'll probably enjoy the next video, which is what is the rule of 3 in parenting? The rule of 3 is all about when people go completely out of control. If you want to keep yourself from going out of control and you want to do it with calmness, then check out that video.